Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome you all in PIST Virtual Learning System Session 2020. Dear students, this lecture is for grade first year, subject Computer Science, and we are on chapter number 6, Wireless Communication, and this is our 34th video lecture. So, dear students, today we are going to start WiMAX, Bluetooth, infrared, cellular communication, and then global positioning system. So dear students, today's topic is what is WiMAX? WiMAX is a standard-based technology enabling the delivery of last-mile wireless broadband access as an alternative to cable and DSL. The technology is specified by the Institute of Electrical Electronic Engineers as the IEEE 802.16 standard. So this is WiMAX, which is the replacement and alternative to the cable and DSL network. So WiMAX is a wireless network that provides public network service to the user. It is very similar to Wi-Fi but covers a big range of 40 to 50 kilometer miles. So WiMAX is a telecommunication technology aimed at provide wireless data over long distance in a variety of ways, from point-to-point links to full mobile cellular type access. WiMAX is a wireless digital communication system also known as IEEE 802.16. So dear students, you must remember that IEEE proposed a model. That model is called 802 model. According to that model, it is 802.16 that is intended for wireless metropolitan area network. WiMAX can provide broadband wireless access up to 30 miles and 50 kilometers for fixed stations and 3 to 10 miles and 5 to 15 for mobile station. WiMAX is a second generation protocol that allows for more efficient bandwidth use, interference avoidance, and is intended to allow higher data rates over long distance. So WiMAX is very similar to Wi-Fi but covers a big range of 40 to 50 kilometer, and WiMAX creates a metropolitan area network MAN and provide a wireless alternative to cable TV and DSL internet connection. WiMAX worldwide use internet connection. It is used for internet connection and replacement of your DSL. It is a new telecommunication technology aimed at providing wireless data over long distance. The wireless technology is designed to provide the last mile of high-speed internet access as well as nomadic service. It is based on IEEE 802.16 wireless MAN, Metropolitan Area Network, WMAN. And here is a graphical representation of your WiMAX. Has a range of several miles here: workplace, hotspot, outdoors, rural, home, auto, and WiMAX access point. So WiMAX basically is a wireless network that provides public network service to users. It is very similar to Wi-Fi but covers a big range of area, and it should be 40 to 50 kilometer, and WiMAX creates a metropolitan area WMAN and provide a wireless alternative to cable TV and DSL internet connection. It provides service just about anywhere you go with the city. It transmits information through microwave and use a more complex technology than Wi-Fi. It use more complex technology rather than Wi-Fi. Bluetooth. What is Bluetooth? Bluetooth is a wireless technology that connect and transmit voice and data to mobile phones, computers and other devices, and it works without cable. So Bluetooth is a short range and a low speed wireless communication technology. Its range is about 10 meters with a data transfer rate up to 723 723 kilobits per second, and it consumes low power. It consumes very low power. So a cable replacement technology, it is a cable replacement technology that can be used to connect almost any device to any other device. Radio interface enabling electronic devices to communicate wirelessly via short range 10 meters and ad hoc radio connection. A standard for a small cheap radio chip to be plugged into computers, printers, mobile phones like this. Bluetooth is used for a variety of applications such as wireless control and communication between a mobile phone and a wireless handset, wireless communication between computers and input devices such as keyboard, printers, and mouse, wireless replacement of serial port applications such as GPS receiver and medical devices, and wireless networking of computer where small amount of information exchange occur, wireless transfer of contacts information and calendar. So these devices we can connect with the help of the Bluetooth. So dear students, you must remember that the Bluetooth range is about 10 meters and data transfer up to 723 kilobits, and it consumes low power. It provides a way to connect and exchange information between devices such as mobile phones, laptops, computer, PCs, printers, digital cameras, and video games console. Bluetooth can be used to replace cable between the CPU and linking devices such as printer, keyboard, mouse. So if you have a wireless mobile, so with the help of Bluetooth device, you can connect wireless mouse, wireless printer. So Bluetooth can enable your different devices and you can connect with the computer with the help of Bluetooth. So how does it really works? Bluetooth is a standard for tiny radio frequency chips that can be plugged into your devices. These chips were designed to take all of information that your wires normally send and transmit it at a special frequency to something called a receiver and Bluetooth chip. So, dear students, basically Bluetooth is a short range and low speed wireless communication technology, and it is used to connect your devices. You can connect your devices, you can share your data and information easily, but limited range. And its range is 10 meters. With the data transfer, it can transfer 720 300 kilobits per second, and it can consume low power. Okay, and with the help of Bluetooth we can connect you can connect your PC, your printer, keyboards and mouse, all IO devices. With the help of Bluetooth you can connect your IO devices. The next is, what is infrared? Infrared is a form of light, light that we cannot see with our eyes, but that we can sometimes feel on our skin as heat. Infrared IR is invisible electromagnetic radiation having a wavelength just greater than that of the red end of the visible light spectrum rainbow, but less than that of microwaves. So infrared is a form of light, but we cannot see with our eyes, but we can sometimes feel on our skin and as a heat. So infrared wireless LAN required line of sight to work less flexible. You must have direct line of sight. Main advantage is it will reduce wiring. Okay, and here on the diagram you can view a hub. Here we have two hubs, and between these two hubs we have an infrared line of sight is clear, usually mounted in a fixed position to ensure they will hit their targets easily. And new versions are diffuse infrared, operates without a direct line of sight by bouncing the infrared signal off walls, only able to operate within a single room and at distance of only about 50 to 70 feet. These are the new infrared situation where it can bounce the infrared signal off the wall and only to able to operate within a single room and at distance of only about 50 to 70 feet. Infrared waves widely used for short-range communication, unable to pass through solid object, used for indoor wireless LANs, not for outdoor. So infrared, basically IR waves, are extremely high frequency waves which are used for short-range communication. Some common application of infrared technology are here car lock, modern computers, home security system, remote control. All these are infrared technology where we can use. Then a technology that use infrared radiation for wireless transmission between computer devices as well as many handheld remotes for TVs and videos and stereos equipment. Computer infrared network adapters both transmit and receive data through ports on the rear or side of a device. Infrared adapters are installed in many laptops and handheld personal devices in Microsoft Windows. Infrared connection can be created through the same method as other local area network. So in infrared technology can be used in different devices, like in car locking system use infrared technology for automatic locking and unlocking the doors of car. Modern computer have infrared enable mouse, keyboard and printer, and home security systems have infrared enable alarm system, and then remote control system in TVs, toys, and in TVs and toys infrared technology used. Then we have long distance wireless communication, and long distance wireless communication system provides services that are not possible with the use of cables. It includes cellular and global positioning system. These are the long distance wireless one-way communication GPS global positioning system, 24 to 32 MEO satellite continuously transmitting timed radio signal. Each satellite circles each twice each day at 1100 miles up. GPS receiver pick up transmission from up to 5 satellites and pinpoint the receiver's location, accurate within 3 to 50 feet with a normal of 10 feet accuracy. So in long distance wireless communication, the first of all we have cellular communication, and cellular communication system is a type of a communication system that are operating with huge network of cells. Cell an area that can be covered by fixed station, base station, node B, node A, and node ground. Here on the diagram you can view these are the ground station and the different station we have, and each cell is configured by a set of specific physical properties that can be separated in form of neighboring cell. So cellular communication is a type of a communication system that are operating with huge network of cell, and it refers to wireless communication system that divide a graphical region into section called cells. Each cell has base station at the center that contains the transceiver and controller that provides radio communication to mobile phone. In cellular communication, each mobile phone uses a separate temporary radio frequency channel to talk to the base station. The base station talk to many mobile users at the same time, and channel use a pair of frequencies for communication. So in cellular communication is designed to provide communication between two moving units or between one mobile unit and one stationary phone or land unit. Service provider must be able to locate and track a caller, assign a channel to the call, and transfer the channel from base station to base station as the caller moves out of range, handover and handoff. Cellular telephone are personally portable devices that may be used in motor vehicles or by pedestrians. Communicating by radio wave in the 800 to 900 MHz band, they permit a significant degree of mobility within a defined serving region that may be hundreds of square kilometers in an area. So cellular communication refer to wireless communication system that divide a geographical region into sections called cells. Each cell has base station at the center that contains a transceiver and control that provide radio communication to mobile phone. In cellular communication, each mobile phone uses a separate temporary radio frequency channel to talk to the base station. The base station talk to many mobile users at the same time, and channel use a pair of frequency for communication. One frequency, the uplink, is used for the mobile phones communicate with the base, and another frequency for the downlink for base communication with the mobile phone. The basic concept of cellular communication is that it reuse the radio frequency by the cell that are at the distance where there is no interference of other. So here on your screen, you can view the cellular network and the base station and how the buildings are interconnected with each other. So how they can send and receive the signals. Here we have a base station. We have the direct mobile to mobile communication, and then with the help of the satellite communication, we can send and redirect the signals, and we can do the communication with the help of this cellular technology and the mobile technology. A cellular mobile communication system uses a large number of low power wireless transmitters to create cells. The basic geographic services area of wireless communication system. What is GPS? GPS, which stands for Global Positioning System. GPS is the only system today able to show our exact position on the earth, anytime, in any weather, in anywhere. So the definition of GPS is positioning system based on a constellation of satellites that continuously transmit coded information. The information transmitted from the satellites can be interpreted by receivers to precisely identify location on Earth by measuring distance from the satellites. So this is basically global positioning system. GPS, Global Positioning System, is a radio navigation system that allows people on land, in sea, or in the air to determine their exact position 24 hours a day, anywhere in the world, in all weather conditions. So in modern era of communication, satellites are widely used. A satellite is relay station which is placed into orbit by human. They are sometimes called artificial satellites to distinguish them from natural satellites such as moon. So um, concept of GPS. The Global Positioning System is a satellite-based navigation system that can be used to locate positions anywhere on Earth. Designed and operated by the US Department of Defense, it consists of satellites, control and monitor station, and receiver. GPS receivers take information transmitted from the satellites and use triangulation to calculate a user's exact location. The Global Positioning System, usually called GPS, is the only fully functional satellite navigation system. Allows small electronic devices to determine their location, longitude, latitude, and altitude. in within a few meters using time signals transmitted along a line of sight by radio from satellite. Receivers on the ground with a fixed position can also be used to calculate the precise time as a reference for scientific experiments. So here in the diagram you can view, here we have a satellite station, one-way signal user segment, and bidirectional signal control segment. We have user segment, we have a control segment, and on the control segment we have a bidirectional signals, and in user segment we have one-way signal, so it is sending the data to the devices. So in global positioning system, the satellite are used for the various purpose such as military and civilian earth observation satellites, communication satellites, navigation satellites, weather satellites, and research satellite. The orbits used by the satellite may be defined as geostationary earth orbit, medium earth orbit, and low earth orbit. So here we can view the GPS, how it can rotate. So GPS are used for navigation on aeroplanes, ships, ground vehicles, and by individual. Also the relative positioning and time date is used to study the movement of tectonic plates, to understand the earthquake, astronomic observation, telecommunication, global positioning system. So satellite station can be classified based upon their orbit. So here in on the screen you can view there is a earth and the satellites are moving, and artificial satellites are moving in the earth, around the earth, to locate the navigation and check the weather and exact position of yourself. Okay, so here on your screen you can view the satellites are moving here, and the satellites are moving here. These are the artificial satellites which are moving on the screen. What is GPS? The Global Positioning System is a space-based satellite navigation system that provides location and time information in all weather conditions anywhere on or near the Earth where there is an unobstructed line of sight to 4 or more GPS satellites. A global navigation satellite system consists of positioning satellite and their associated ground station. The system provides critical capabilities to military, civil, and commercial users around the world. It is maintained by the US government and is freely accessible to anyone with a GPS receiver. The uses of GPS: position, navigation, mapping, land survey, cell phones, science, synchronization, and time transfer. So there are 3 different types of orbit: low Earth orbit, LEO, medium Earth orbit, MEO, and geostationary orbit. Geostationary Earth orbit. These satellites are in orbit 35,863 km above the Earth's surface along the equator. Objects in geostationary orbit revolve around the Earth at the same speed as the Earth rotates. This means satellites remain in the same position relative to the surface of the Earth. So this is geostation. Earth orbit or geostationary orbit is an orbit directly above the Earth's equators at 0 latitude with a period equal to the Earth's rotation period. An object in a geostationary orbit appears to be fixed in the sky if observed from the Earth. Communication satellites and weather satellites are generally placed in geostationary orbits so that the satellite Earth antennas placed on Earth that communicate with them do not have to track them but can be placed permanently at the fixed position where they stay. In geostation Earth orbit, GEO, satellite orbit the Earth directly over the equator approximately 35 and 400 kilometer and 22,000 miles up. Take 24 hours to make a complete trip around the Earth. Their latitude stay at 0 and its longitude remains constant. So here you can view on your screen. So here 7 visible satellites, 6, 7, 8 visible satellites. You can view how they can move around the Earth and rotate around the Earth. So this is geostation Earth orbit, or geostation orbit is an orbit directly above the Earth equator at 0 degree latitude with a period equal to the Earth's rotational period. An object in a geostation orbit appears to be fixed in the sky if observed from the Earth. And communication satellites and weather satellite is generally placed in geostation orbit so that the satellite Earth antennas that communicate them do not have to track them but can be placed permanently at the fixed position where they stay. Then we have a medium Earth orbit. So medium Earth orbit, MEO satellite are above the LEO satellite and below the GEO satellite. Orbital range between 800 km and 18,000 km above the Earth's surface, similar to LEO at satellite in functionality, and MEO satellite are visible for much large periods for time than LEO satellite, usually between 2 to 8 hours. MEO satellite have large coverage area than LEO. Medium Earth orbit MEO satellite are positioned between the two Van Allen belts. A satellite that this orbit takes approximately 6 to 8 hours to circle the Earth. One example of MEO satellite system is Global Positioning System, and GPS orbiting at an altitude about 18,000 km at 1100 mi above the Earth. This system consists of 24 satellites and is used for land, sea, and air navigation to provide time and location for vehicles and ships. GPS used 24 satellites in 6 orbits. The orbit and the location of the satellite in each orbit are designed in such a way that at any time, 4 satellites are visible from any point on Earth. A GPS receiver has an almanac that tells the current position of each satellite. A GPS has many applications, and its MEOI circular orbit and altitude in the range of 5,000 to 12,000 kilometers. The orbit period is about 6 hours. The diameter of coverage is from round trip signal propagation delay is less than 50 ms. The maximum time that the satellite is visible from a fixed point on Earth above the radio horizon is a few hours. Low Earth orbit LE, a low Earth orbit LE, also um, known as known as low orbit. It generally defined from the Earth's surface up to an altitude of 2000 km, but the commonly used definition for LEO is from 160 kilometer to 2000 km above the Earth's surface. Less energy is required to place satellite into low Earth orbit, and it requires low power amplifier for communication. Therefore, this orbit is used for many communication applications. Most of the satellite like the International Space Station, the Space Shuttle, and the Hubble Space Telescope are all exist in low Earth orbit. Low satellite have a circular orbit at a height of 250,000 250 to 2000 kilometer from the Earth's surface. The orbit period, mainly depending on the altitude, varies in the range 90 to 120 minute. The altitude of LEO satellite is low, their velocity is very high, and they make 12 to 6 Earth turns per Earth day. It means that LEO satellites experience at least 12 to 16 sunlight and night period in 24 hours. Consequently, in LEO orbit, the maximum time during which a satellite is above the local horizon for an observe on the Earth is up to 20 minutes. This time is used to transfer data, images, and photographs to selected ground station position in strategical location. So here you can view the low Earth and the medium Earth orbit and geostation Earth. So medium Earth orbit located above low Earth orbit and below the geostation Earth orbit. And the satellite placed this orbit are generally used for the navigation, such as the global positioning system and the altitude of 2200 kilometer. And in the low orbit, the low Earth orbit is known as the low orbit. It's generally defined from the Earth's surface up to the altitude of 2000 km. But the commonly used definition of LEO is from 160 km to 2000 km above the Earth's surface. Less energy is required to place the satellite into a low Earth. So dear students, thank you so much. Inshallah, in next lecture, we will continue mobile devices and mobile device communication. Till then, Allah Hafiz.